The 1990s had a ton of films that were comedies that were kind of geared towards kids and teenagers and young adults. These films, there's so many of them. There's so many that are revered still to this day. 1995's Heavyweights, a huge one. This film that I'm going to talk about today is kind of adjacent to that film, kind of the same type of movie in setting, camp summer comedy featuring kids. And what this movie did, I think Heavyweights kind of piggybacked off from. I'm sure someone could probably fact check me and say Heavyweights was written in 1992, blah, 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 blah. This movie came out a full year ahead of Heavyweights, and I think in some instances is just as good, if not in some moments better than Heavyweights. Also a camp kids movie called Camp Nowhere, came out in 1994, reunites Christopher Lloyd with Tom Wilson. Christopher Lloyd, obviously we know, played Doc Brown in the Back to the Future series. Biff Tannen, played by Tom Wilson in the Back to the Future film series. And let me tell you, Tom Wilson's role in this, very minimal, but super funny and cool to see Biff reunited with Doc. Christopher Lloyd plays a guy named Dennis Van Welker, who is kind of like a vagabond hippie in a mobile trailer running for tax evasion. M. Emmett Walsh, who, if you know the name, you know the face. M. Emmett Walsh has been in a litany of films, passed away over the last few years, unfortunately, but he plays a sheriff that wants to retire, and he's after Dennis Van Welker for tax evasion and a bunch of other, stuff. He's like an ex-hippie, and he kind of is running from the law. So, and we got some other people in here. A younger Jessica Alba, before she was a name, obviously went on to do a litany of stuff. She did, Never Been Kissed, Idle Hands, was in a bunch of stuff after this film. This film came out in 1994. Again, before Heavyweights. There's no way that you could say that Heavyweights, whoever wrote it, did Paul Feig write it? I don't even know who wrote it. Whoever wrote Heavyweights definitely took inspiration from this film, because what this is about, again, Jonathan Jackson's in this. He was in Insomnia. I don't really know him from a lot of other things. Andrew Keegan was in this. That dude was in 10 Things I Hate About You. He was in, if you see him and you know him, he was in a recurring character, I think, for a season in Party of Five, too. If any 90s kids did watch Party of Five, I did. Yeah, this movie came out a full year before Heavyweights. There is no way that Heavyweights didn't take influence from this film. A camp movie. These kids are all going to be going to summer camp, and they're going to camps that they don't want to go. Mud, played by Jonathan Jackson, is going to go to like a computer camp. His father's a nerd, wants him to go to a computer camp to sharpen his skills and be a professional, whatever, engineer, data analyst, nerd, no offense to nerds. I'm a nerd in my own right. We all are. But wants him to go to like this nerdy camp that he has no interest in going to. His one friend, her mother thinks she's overweight, so she wants to send her to a diet camp. Andrew Keegan's character, his father's in the military and wants him to send him to a military camp. So him and his friends start talking. The one girl wants to go to a drama camp. So all these kids' parents want them to go to different respective camps to either better themselves or further their future careers in whatever the parents want them to do. They start talking about how they don't, amongst each other, about how they don't want to go to any of these camps. And they get the idea, why don't we just run our own camp? Why don't we go to our own camp? And the gears start spinning, and they find this ex-hippie Christopher Lloyd, that's named Dennis Van Welker. They get a piece of land. They fool all their parents. Dennis Van Welker poses as the leader of each of these camps that these people they think they're sending their kid to. He dresses up as a nerd that looks like Mud's father to go to the nerdy computer camp. He dresses up as a French drama teacher for to act like, the one girl's going to a drama camp, dresses up as a colonel or sergeant or whatever for the military camp, and so on and so forth. And it was initially only going to be this core group of friends going to a camp unsupervised for the whole summer, kid's dream. Now, obviously, Dennis Van Welker takes all the money for these kids, from these kids' parents to pay for these camps that they're going to. And it spirals out of control, and they let, unfortunately, the wrong person, one of their friends, know, and then he spreads the word. Then all these kids are going to the camp under fake camps, and they're all getting it. And they pool all the parents, pay for the camps, they go to the camps, and they have a plethora of money. They paid Dennis Van Welker, I can't remember how much it was, Christopher Lloyd's character, but the kids have all this money. It's very Blank Check-esque. Obviously, we all lived vicariously through another 1994 film, Blank Check. What kid wouldn't want $1 million to buy all the toys he wants and to, get in the sumo suits and box Rick Dunkerman? Who wouldn't want to do that? But anyway, so they have all this money, obviously, because all the kids' parents paid for these fake camps, and they're buying, just super soakers and inflatables and just a huge sound system and big screen TVs, and they're living the life in this camp. This and Blank Check, funny enough, came out the same year, but both films are like kid fantasy, like, give kids a bunch of money and free will to do what they want. And it's a very and even though Heavyweights was that, I feel like Blank Check and like this, obviously this one, they're actually going to a camp like in Heavyweights. But I think Blank Check is more rewatchable than Heavyweights. Heavyweights is super rewatchable. I quote Heavyweights all the time with me and the rest of my fat friends. We have hilarious lines that we still quote today. We still do. It's a great film. It's so good. But I'm just telling you, check out Camp Nowhere. Camp Nowhere has a flavor all its own. And obviously, it definitely was some inspiration for Heavyweights. There's no denying that. As is Blank Check. Blank Check needs a Blu-ray release, man. We don't have a real Blu-ray release for that. I'm surprised this has a Blu-ray release. Let's see who put this out. Mill Creek putting out the Camp Nowhere Blu-ray. I remember finding this, not even knowing it was out on Blu-ray. I found it at my local record store. You can still see their little adhesive sticker that's still lingering on there. And I was like, holy shit, I haven't seen Camp Nowhere since I was a kid. Got it. This is 13 years ago, something like that. And this is just super fun. And obviously, they stage a Parents' Day. Eventually, the parents find out. It's a whole thing. But there's a lot of fun that happens in between. Kind of very similar. Blank Check and this are very, very similar. And this is kind of, if you had to ask me, what is Camp Nowhere? Camp Nowhere is Blank Check meets Heavyweights, minus the weight problems. That they're sending the kids to a fat camp, which the one girl is getting sent to like a diet camp or whatever. So there's a little bleed over there. This is super underrated. Definitely check it out. Super fun. Let me know what you think. Have you seen it? If you've seen it, do you like it? Is it better than Heavyweights? Is it as good as Heavyweights? Where does it rank? Let me know in the comments. What do you think of Camp Nowhere? Have you seen it? And do you like it?